Sorry, hey, happy day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with the Countdown to LCW, the live challenge workshop beginning March 23rd at noon Eastern. Every day for 5 days in a row, we will be live teaching you, showing you step by step, one thing a day, how to create your own results getting challenge. Challenges are the coolest thing on the planet. You can get results in days that take people months and even years to achieve if you have a focused effort on a thing that you want to achieve, on a result that you want for any short period of time. So in a short period of time, you can compress time and create incredible results. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in the live challenge workshop starting March 23rd. But leading up into that, I wanted to add some value, do something that I thought would be helpful. And so we're doing a top 20 business lessons learned, my brainstorm list of 20 biggest lessons learned from 47 years in business. I've been in businesses for 47 years. I've spent over a quarter century of that also in corporate America, working for some of the biggest companies in the world. And over that time, I learned a thing or two. And these are the 20 biggest lessons I've learned. I'm sure I could probably come up with 1,000 lessons I've learned, but these are the 20 that popped into my mind the fastest. Therefore, they're probably the biggest lessons for me. Will they be the biggest lessons for you? Probably not. We each get to accumulate our own list of life's biggest lessons based on the experiences that we have. But these are the 20 ones that popped into my head first, so they must be the biggest ones to me. Now, today is a fun one, and it's actually a relatively new lesson that I learned. The last few years, I have been online. I switched, as part of my divorce, I had to get rid of all my assets and all my businesses and everything. And it gave me actually a cool opportunity to do something different with my life. Well, I've always been curious about the online world and attracted to it. So I thought, well, I'm going to hop online and try to figure out and do things online. And I started coaching and consulting and working with other people and creating courses and writing books and doing all kinds of crazy things like everybody else, trying to do everything on the planet online because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to try all these different things and then I'd find the one thing that was for me, and that's what I would do. And I kind of have finally, after hundreds of days and a couple of years of trying all kinds of different things. I mean, I've done summits. I've done podcasting. I've got almost 3,000 podcast episodes. I mean, tons of stuff I've done. And some of it's been really fun, but not necessarily effective. Others has been not so fun, but super effective, but I don't want to do it because it's not so fun. So it's all a big fun learning experience. But one of the things that I learned from one of my favorite coaching students, Audie Cashin, who is a certified one thing instructor, was the power of one thing, focusing on one thing. Actually, it's the power of focus, right? And ever since I've come online, everybody's like, you got to do one thing, you got to do one thing, you got to focus on one thing. And it's, you know, some of us are slow learners at things, and it took me a while to adopt the one thing philosophy. But over the last year or so, I have done that. I've done that with my daily to-do list, was the first thing I experimented with it on. And I was one of those people that always had like a 400 item running to-do list. And I started that in corporate America and running my businesses, and I just always had a gazillion things I needed to do. And I would prioritize them and break it down by importance and urgency and whether I could delegate it or not. And I did all the complicated, priority setting tools on my list of 400 things. But it was still a list of 400 things. It was ridiculous because as awesome as I think I am at multitasking, although people around me would argue and say I'm not good at multitasking at all, I think I'm good at it. I couldn't do even 10 things a day, much less 400. So when Audie taught me about the one thing, it was really, really powerful. And I started adopting that, okay, what is the one most important thing I need to do today? And every night before I go to sleep, I think about tomorrow, what is the one most important thing I need to do? Now, for part of that time, the one most important thing I needed to do was focus on my health. I had, about a year and a half ago, I had a big health challenge, which is kind of a repeat of other health challenges I've had because I wasn't taking care of myself and I didn't learn the lesson I thought I'd learned 10 times already. And so some days my one thing was I needed to go see the rheumatologist or I needed to go see some specialist. And then other days it's I need to launch a webinar or create a funnel or make 5 sales calls, whatever it is. But every day I just still pick one primary thing. Now, right now, there's a lot going on in the world. So a lot of us, our one primary thing should be today preparing ourselves and our family for the next couple of weeks or months or things to come, right? And actually, we should always be prepared, but we aren't always prepared, right? Just like when storms come, we're not always prepared. Anyway, we should be preparing for the live challenge workshop, but you don't really have to do anything to prepare. Just make sure you're signed up in the group, and I'll put the link in the comments below, but it's just facebook.com/group/Thrive Challenge, because we're going to have 5 days that you learn how to do the challenge. You could actually, the next day, Saturday, or the following Monday, start your own results getting challenge. That's how much I'm going to break this down and make it simple and easy for you. So there'll be, you know, the A to Z of how to do a challenge. So you're not going to have any questions. And if you do, you're going to ask them. We'll do a live Q&A on Saturday, and you're going to get all your questions answered. But you want to be signed up on the group page, because we're going to have participation pages. I believe in one thing a day, right? So every day there's going to be a daily action item that you want to do, you want to participate in. Because if you do each of the 5 daily actions, guess what? At the end of that 5 days, you have got your own customized framework set up for your results getting challenge, whatever the result is that you want to get for you. And I help people usually get business results, because that's my background, is business, and most of the people that come to me want business results. But you use it for everything and anything. I have done challenges in almost anything you can imagine, except burpee challenges. I know they're out there, but I've never done one. And that's for personal reasons. Mostly because I'm too embarrassed to do burpees, and they hurt. I don't like burpees. So you want to be signed up in the group. I will actually record, and this is a secret I'll tell you about in the challenge. I will record on my page and then share it in the group. And I may or may not do it simultaneously in both places. Sometimes I live in a rural area, so sometimes the more complicated I try to get with technology, the more glitches and the more challenges I have. And I don't like to create more challenges for myself that are unnecessary. So you want to participate in that. So one thing a day. What is your one thing a day? What is the most important thing that you do today? Now, here's the cool thing about that and why it de-stresses you. If I and you pick my one thing a day and I make that my priority and I do that first thing every day, guess what? As soon as I get it done, I have this huge sense of accomplishment, which feels good, right? I get this endorphin hit from succeeding in doing something that I said I was going to do to myself. I keep my word and commitment to myself. And now the whole rest of my day is freed up to do whatever I want with it. And anything else I accomplish during that day, which is usually a whole lot more than one thing, feels good. Everything else that I do now feels good. Instead of feeling like I've got 400 things and no matter what I do, I'm never going to catch up, I'm never going to get done, I'm never going to get it all done, I now have this sense of I've accomplished not only my one thing, but now I've knocked 3 other things off my ongoing, this is what I want to create and do in my life list. So the power of the one thing. Never underestimate the power of the one thing. And I would love if some of you would share in the comments below, what is your one thing? What is the one thing that you're going to do today? I'm hanging out with my 4-year-old granddaughter, so she is my #1 priority. She had a sleepover. That's my #1 priority for what I'm doing today. Anything else I do besides having fun with her today is just icing on the cake, icing on the proverbial cake. So that is our number 9 of the biggest lessons that I have learned in business. And like I said, this is a newer lesson for me, but it has been so powerful in terms of how I feel about my life and stress and accomplishments that it's a really powerful lesson, and that's why it made the top 20 list. Go out, make it an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions about business lessons learned or the upcoming challenge, hit me up in the comments below and I will be in touch. Take care.